What's going on? It's Mike from AVG Fantasy Football, and in this video we're going to talk about all the due draft running backs for the 2021 NFL fantasy football season. Every running back that we love, their ADP is perfect, and we just want them on all of our teams. We're targeting them in all our leagues, and if you're one of our friends, I got the advantage, baby. I know what they like. So this is truly everyone we like 2021 fantasy football draft for the NFL. The 6 players we love for this year. It's pretty good stuff, so make sure you stay throughout the whole video. Chapters down below, so if you want to skip through, if you see a guy you want to see us talk about, it's right there. Enjoy. Let's go on to our due draft list for the running backs in the 2021 fantasy football season. For our first running back,
He's there. I mean, look. Bam. Zing.
Oh my gosh.
Do draft.
Do draft Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
Do not draft.
So our first one on here is our due draft. It's going to be Clyde Edwards Helaire. This one's Tyler's guy. Sell me on why I should be taking Clyde Edwards as my second running back.
Yeah, but first, before I do that, I'm going to sell you on, you should hit that like button and subscribe, because, if you want to win your championship, you want to subscribe to this. You want to like this. You want to follow us, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help you win. We're here to, you have that, those decisions on a week-to-week basis. Who do I pick up on the waiver wire? Who do I start this week? Who do I sit? That's what we're here for. We're here to make your life easier so you can bring home that championship trophy or that belt and win that money. So, yeah, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. But without further ado, I will tell you why I do like me some Clyde Edwards Helaire, the second-year running back for the Kansas City Chiefs right here.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Clyde Edwards Helaire is I feel like he burned a lot of people last year. He's going. I think the expectations and the bar was just set so high for him of like what people wanted. He was going in like the top 10 overall. He was going in the first round.
He went 5 in one of my leagues last year.
Yeah, I picked him in 2 leagues, and I took him I think with the 6th pick in one league and the 7th pick in another league. So I was taking him in the top 10 overall. You're expecting this guy to be in RB1, and obviously the Le'Veon Bell signing in week 7 that kind of deterred and derailed the Clyde Edwards Helaire experience for his rookie year at least. But Le'Veon Bell is no longer there, and in terms of that running back room, you have CEH, you got Darrell Williams, who I think is a good backup running back in the NFL, but not anyone that I'm worried about. And Jerick McKinnon's there as well, a little change of pace back, but that guy just can't seem to stay healthy and stay on the field. But yeah, I do like me some Clyde Edwards Helaire, and I think he's being appropriately priced this year compared to last year, where he was going in the first round because people thought he had top 5 upside. He finished last year as the RB 14.5 point and full point PPRs, and I think that's where he could finish. Or he's going as the RB 14. I'm sorry, he finished last year as RB 22. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he's like dead to people, and people are pissed because you're expecting to draft this running back in the first round, and then he finishes RB 22. That's not a good return on your investment. But this year, he is going off the board as RB 14.5 point and full point PPRs. Like I said, I feel like that's a good price. He's going kind of in that back end of the second round, start of the third round. And, just look at some of these numbers here. Prior to Le'Veon Bell getting there, 3 of the first 6 games, he had 25 or more total touches. That's just insane volume. We're always talking about like volume. That's volume is king for the running back. He was averaging 21 touches per game in those first 6 weeks. He was on pace for 341 total touches. I don't know what that would have been in terms of like, first, second, third, fourth, or most in the league. But if you're getting over 300 total touches, that is an insane workload for a running back. No more Le'Veon Bell, like I said. I just love the opportunity that he presents here. Anytime you get the starting running back for a Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs offense, just sign me up all day. And now you're getting him in the back of the second, sometimes even in the third round. I just think it's crazy value. I love me some CEH.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Volume is king. I'll be quick. I have these. You pretty much covered a lot of things. This is just more me diving into weirdo numbers. But so, last year they had no training camp, so he didn't have an actual physical training camp. He had to do all Zoom calls, which I think is big for rookie. For any rookie, it doesn't really matter. But I think being in a full training camp, they can try to utilize him in more ways. More, inside the 10, more touchdowns. This was a crazy stat I ended up finding or making myself, but whatever. He had 216 total touches, only 5 touchdowns. That means he scored a touchdown once every 43 touches. That's fucking nuts. I think that's going to go down, or it's going to go as far. Yeah, exactly.
Like touchdowns.
Positive, exactly. So yeah, when I saw that, I did the math and I was like, it's one every like 43.35.
Well, there
touches.
was a couple games you remember where Clyde Edwards lined up for goal line carries. I think there was one game where they gave it to him like 4 times in a row.
Yeah,
and he missed.
No, for sure. I mean, they definitely tried in that very first game against the Texans. Everyone's like, damn, he looks good. Obviously, Le'Veon Bell, like T said, kind of hurt him, but just that number alone with this offense and just, especially with, Sammy Watkins leaving, there's love or like targets to go around in the pass game. He sucks anyways, but I just think that 43.5 every touchdown is crazy. I think that'll go down to a lot less. I expect to see 8 to 10 touchdowns out of him. I would say at least 8. I don't think he does at 5 again, so that's more.
You got to think too, as a rookie, like Troy said, rookie, no training camp, no preseason games. Look at David Montgomery. We were pretty high on him his first year. He didn't really pan out. Second year comes out, and the guy
slowed down for him.
Top 5 running back last year. Obviously, they lost Tariq Cohen, the Chicago Bears did, so it kind of helped Montgomery get more utilized in the passing game. But last year, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the only running back drafted in the first round. Granted, it was the last pick in the first round, but he was still drafted in the first round. And the Chiefs had their pick. Look how good that draft class was in terms of Clyde Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers, DeAndre Swift. They could have had
Antonio Gibson.
They could have had any of those running backs. They literally had their hand choice of picking any of those running backs they wanted, and they chose Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So that should speak some type of volume, just as how confident and how much they actually like the player as the franchise.
Antonio Gibson was there. Oh my god. Anyway, that's it for that.
Okay, let's go.
Mike? No.
Well, I was just gonna say. I'm with you.
We kind of covered everything.
Yeah. There's no sense in beating a dead guy. You know what I mean?
Mike wrote all our notes.
We just like Xavier Howard. We covered everything.
Seriously, hey, he got 16 in top 100.
Bro,
this is a savage, dude. Xavier Howard.
Yep.
We don't need a Casey Anthony anymore. Let's go.
They showed Keenan Allen love finally. About fucking time. Sorry, go ahead.
Hashtag NFL Top 100.
Dude, there's one that they did dirty, but that's for later.
Okay, let's go on to our next one for our due draft list. This is Dre's guy, Zack Moss. You were talking about this guy 2 months ago, I think. Or maybe like a month ago. Me and you were having a private conversation over WhatsApp because Facebook can't track that.
Yeah, it's
so we were messaging over that. Actually, WhatsApp you can. Never mind. Anyways, go ahead, Zack Moss. Why do you like him? Because I concur on this one.
Well, to start,
but prove it to the people.
I just said CEH had 5 touchdowns on 216 touches. My man Zack Moss had 5 touchdowns on 126 touches, and he's on a high-powered offense just like him. We were just talking about carries inside the 5. My man Josh Allen had 9 carries, 8 yards, 7 touchdowns, which you could easily say, oh, well, and he's had back-to-back seasons of, I want to say 9 rushing touchdowns. He just got guapped the fuck out. I personally think they're not going to do that with him anymore. He just got paid. I think they have this guy, Zack Moss, who can actually do this dirty work. They don't need to have Josh Allen do it anymore. They don't want to risk it, have a Carson Wentz situation where you guap somebody out. Because he got hurt on a QB on a run playing towards ACL. I think same thing. No rookie minicamp. He gets a whole year in. Like maybe not week 1, 2, 3, but see me in the middle of the season. I bet you he's going to be the dude getting tugs, and he's going to be a buy low. Everyone's going to want to get him. Like I said, this offense is too good. I think he's going to get you some touchdowns. And he's going to get more than 112 carries, which is what he had last year. And where he's going ADP, I think. If he's there, I'm taking him.
Yeah, I think
8th, 9th round.
In the running backs, this is like goes to my point too. It's like any running backs that are in this area, you're going up for like there's like backups and guys that are like unsure, but it seems as though Zack Moss is for sure the guy there, and you're getting him super late. Yeah, it's like 7th round or what? I don't know what his ADP is.
I've got him in like the 8th.
I've seen him go super late in drafts.
Yeah, people are buying. I don't know why.
So you're getting an RB1 in the 7th or 8th round, an RB1 on a team, and like you said, I think I think you're right. I think Josh Allen, he's, they want to look out for that guy. They don't want to have him possibly injuring himself.
Yeah, 18 rushing touchdowns is enough. And I do a thing where I look at, offenses and offensive lines and all this, and they're just top at everything. Their O-line's good. They score a lot of points.
Yeah, it's sneaky.
Yeah.
I think it's sneaky for sure. What do you think, Tyler?
I mean, one thing I could say is that my guy Andre over here, he knows his Buffalo Bills. He knows the Buffalo Bills, and that's not even his team. I mean, my guy last year, I'm just gonna humble brag for him. My guy called out Diggs, who was being drafted in the 4th, 5th round. Guy led the league in receiving and receptions. Called out Josh Allen last year, fucking almost won the MVP. You know, so he knows the Bills offense here, and I think he's right. You know, saying like, and I think that's the thing most people aren't understanding too is like, with no rookie training camp, just no training camp really in general, they kind of, you know, minimized it. A lot of Zoom meetings and stuff, and then no preseason. A lot of these rookies, they kind of came in, you know, a couple steps behind of what a normal rookie should have in terms of, you know, getting ready to become an NFL football player. So, you know, I think he steps into his year 2. You know, hopefully he makes that progression. You know, he's basically a bigger version of Devin Singletary. He could do everything Devin Singletary can, but he's just bigger. He's big. And, you know, the guy's a capable 3-down back. Yeah, I mean, I like that. You know, the only thing I don't like is how pass happy they are. But, I mean, like I said, my guy's a very capable pass catcher. So, and I do agree with Andre. I mean, you don't pay Josh Allen $150 million, $170 million, whatever it was.
$200 million.
$200 million.
Your last name can't be Moss, and you don't catch balls.
Yeah.
You know
So yeah, whatever they paid him, the you know, crazy amount of money, you do have to kind of look out for his investment. You don't want that guy. You don't want your $200 million man over here, you know, getting banged up and taking unnecessary hits. That's what you have guys like Zack Moss for, who can punch it in when you get to the goal line. So yeah, especially when you get to these like later rounds. Yeah, I like Zack Moss.
And all 7 of Josh Allen's rushing touchdowns were designed QB runs. I just don't see them doing that this year. If they do, I mean, easy could be wrong, but you drafted Zack Moss in the 3rd round for a reason.
12 out of his 18.
What's up?
How many of them were planned?
7. All 7 of his rushing touchdowns were planned QB runs.
Right.
So, there's a lot of bodies getting banged up down there. I feel like they're gonna let Zack Moss do his thing a little more because he is a bigger buy.
Yeah, it's not like your point is that it's not like Josh Allen went out of his way to try and rush that touchdown.
No, they were giving it to him and they were effective.
Right, but they were planning on it, like you're saying.
100%.
Nice. I like it. I'm sold. Zack Moss. Put him on my freaking team.
Zing.
Okay, here we go. My draft. This might be me. Anyways, let's get into it. We got, for my do draft, I got Mike Davis.
What's up, Big Mac?
Is this my? Oh no, I got it mixed up. My highlights.
There you go. No, it's that one. Oh, last one.
Sorry about it. Hello.
I don't think you have it, dude. There she goes.
Here it is.
Hi, dude.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
My boy Mike Davis. Do draft Mike Davis. Okay, so he is going right now. His ADP shows that he's going in the 4th round. I have not seen that. I don't know how that is because he's not getting drafted in the 4th round.
No.
I haven't seen it go once. It's at 5th round is the earliest I've ever seen it.
And I haven't even seen
that.
Like
5th, 6th round. I think 5th is
is like the highest that I've seen it. Yeah. And that's because your boy swooped in on him, maybe. But yeah, no, like I've been in situation. I just did a draft last week, and I'm panicking for running backs because I took none in the first 4 rounds.
You showed me that.
The first four rounds, I took 0 running backs, and I got into a situation, and I ended up still being able to grab Mike Davis in the 6th round, as my RB2. So my point with Mike Davis is that he, just like how Zack Moss is the guy in Buffalo, Mike Davis is the guy in Atlanta. So his backups, I'll just say, in Carolina, he had 59 receptions on 70 targets.
Yeah,
he only averaged 3.9 yards per carry, but he basically was given the Christian McCaffrey kind of workload in the games he started, and he did pretty well with them. I think he had 105 or 185 attempts, something like that, and he was able to put together some yards for that. What's it called? And 59 receptions is good, and you might say like that maybe that's the Carolina, he was the backup and that he's the only guy there. But I think that in Atlanta he is the only guy there. His backup is like what's his name?
Quadri Olsen.
Yeah. They went and got as an undrafted free agent Javian Hawkins.
Released.
But they released him, and I can't remember where did he go.
Tennessee.
That's right.
That was like 5'2", that's why.
He's the dude. I have him on my team.
So
whatever.
Yeah.
From Louisville.
Yeah.
the fourth running back on here is Cordero Patterson, and if I'm correct, he was a wide receiver in college.
He's more of like a gadget guy.
Yeah.
Kick returner, punt returner guy.
Yeah.
He can't remember a playbook to save his life. I told you guys this.
Yeah, exactly. So all these signs are pointing to me like Mike Davis is the guy in Atlanta's offense. I do think that they're going to be playing from behind a little bit, but he's going to get goal line carries. The guy's going to score touchdowns. He's a safe running back to grab those later rounds. That's going to be an RB1. And when you're in those rounds, you're looking at other guys like James Conner sometimes, and like, you know, where you don't know what the fuck's going on in those backfields, but you know what's going on in Mike Davis's backfield. And you hear me say that? Mike Davis's backfield, bitch. No, so that's why I'm saying do draft Mike Davis in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
sold or what?
I like it, especially if you're gonna go. You know, there's always different draft strategies. You know, sometimes, you know, you go running back heavy, or, you know, maybe Travis Kelce falls to you and you just can't pass upon it. You want to grab a Kittle or a Waller early. So, you know, you pass upon these early running backs. So when you do get to these middle rounds, you know, 4, 5, 6, I feel like the running backs get ugly, and it gets ugly quick. Yeah, so to find a guy who could have the amount of workload, like you're saying, that Mike Davis has, and you can get him in the 5th round, you know, give or take. I mean, sign me up all day. I mean, last year you had Todd Gurley. He ranked top 10 in terms of carries inside the 20, carries inside the 10, and carries inside the 5. And I mean, Gurley was not efficient at all. But the thing that kept Gurley's fantasy value afloat was his touchdowns. You know, whenever they get in close, he'd get you a touchdown. Maybe he only got you 15 carries for 40 yards, but he got you a touchdown, and he would save his days with that. So, you know, obviously they felt more comfortable in what they saw with Mike Davis to go out and sign him in free agency and bring him in. So, yeah, and a capable 3-down back, you know.
Very capable.
Yeah.
I agree with everything. I mean, to go with how you're saying, how he's so, like, proficient in the pass game, the Falcons are going to be behind a lot. And if you can have a guy that doesn't have to leave the field, I don't give a shit if the Falcons lose 52-25 every game. If Mike Davis
25,
gets...
that's a weird...
I don't know. 27. As long as if he gets 8 catches for 45
they're so far
yards,
behind, they're going for 2,
yeah,
right?
they're just like, let's just creep up. If he can get me 5, 6
Go
catches,
for 2, coach. Go for 2.
Let's lose by 25. So yeah, if he can stay on the field and catch the ball, I mean, all for it. And he literally is in the worst running back room in football. I can't think. Us 3 are a better running back room. The Falcons,
his
maybe.
Backups, yeah.
It's like the running back room in there is doo-doo. I'm surprised they haven't tried to go get Le'Veon.
You know what it was?
Like, you're telling me Le'Veon ain't better than Quadri Olsen?
Yeah.
Like, fuck out of here. And Cordero Patterson, who's not even a running back. He's a ball carrier.
Yeah. But do you think that the Falcons were like, oh, sick. No, we got rid of Julio Jones, and now we got Kyle Pitts, dude. Kyle Pitts. Yeah. And then someone was like, what about running backs? And they're like, fuck, running backs.
Like, dude, Mike Davis.
Running backs. I forgot running backs. Mike Davis.
And they
come on, brother.
And they didn't draft
Come on down,
baby.
I'm with it. If he's another sleeper, I love it. You know what it is? It's the Falcons. They're gonna suck. But the thing is, Arthur Smith is a coach, and he was just with the Titans. So you just never know, Gina. Never know.
And what did the Titans like to do when they had Arthur Smith?
Run
the football.
Yeah.
So.
He ain't no King Henry, but he's a little baby Mike.
Let's go to our next one here. We got Chris Carson. This one's Tyler's right here. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Where are we at? Just go ahead and...
Yeah, so I like Chris Carson. I mean, last year he finished as RB17. You know, and it's not even in terms of, like, I think he can surpass that. I just think Chris Carson is, you know, where he's going in the, you know, back into the 3rd, sometimes even the 4th round, depending on how big your league is. I just think he's a great, like, you know, he just fits. He fits. It's an appropriate price tag for what he's getting there. Yeah, you know, let's say, you know, I brought it up in the last one with Mike Davis. You know, let's say maybe you go wide receiver heavy. You know, you just some crazy values are there, and you end up getting like Devontae Adams and I don't know Diggs or Calvin Ridley or something like that, or you go Kelce, and then you get another receiver in the 2nd round, DK. You know, and you're just looking like, okay, like let me get another running back in the 3rd round. Because like I said, it does get ugly. The running backs, they go off the board fast, and it gets ugly when you get to these later rounds. I just think Chris Carson is like the perfect running back to grab in the back end of the 3rd, start of the 4th round. You know, it's not going to be like an RB1. He's not going to be the sexiest guy, but you're never going to lose your week because you had Chris Carson. You're never going to be like, oh, Chris Carson fucked me this week and I lost. You know, because the guy's he's just efficient. I mean, last year, 4.8 yards per carry. He's a career 4.5 average yards per carry. I mean, 9 total touchdowns last year. They signed him a contract extension. They gave him a 2-year, $10.5 million contract, so they kept him. No more Carlos Hyde. He's with the Jags. yeah, you're getting Rashad Penny back, but I mean, who the fuck is Rashad Penny?
Exactly.
I hate to say it like that, but it's like, I mean, the guy hasn't done anything. You know, he's just not capable. You know, they got Alex Collins, who I forgot he was even in the league. Yeah, Travis Homer, DJ Dallas. You know, these guys, these are just guys. These are just depth.
Jags.
Yeah, these are just a couple of Jags that play for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
That's all it is, coach.
You know, and this is going to be one of the better offenses in the NFL. You know, when you have Russell Wilson, you know, and you have a guy like DK, Tyler Lockett, you know, this, like I said, one of the better offenses in the NFL. So there's going to be a lot more scoring opportunities for them compared to some of these other offenses in the NFL. And in terms of PPR, 10 of the 12 games that he played last year, 10 or more PPR points in 10 of the 12. I like that. I just think it's a safe floor. He's a consistent guy. He's just like that. The lunch pill, you know, comes to work, doesn't say much, but he just gets his job done each and every single week. So, yeah, I love me some Chris Carson, especially for where he's gone.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah,
I'm with you all the time. I've been targeting Chris Carson. If you have those later round picks in your draft, Chris Carson's solid for that third round because that's exactly where he's falling, like 309, 310 area.
Yeah.
I've been targeting him a lot.
Talent-wise, I'm with it. What always scares me, I mean, it's obviously, you know, like he's so physical that he just gets these little naggy injuries.
Yeah.
And but on the field, I would, of course, I'm all about it. But
Yeah,
that's
he doesn't run out of bounds or try to make you miss.
Yeah,
He tries to run through you.
every time. I don't think he's played a full season yet. He has like high ankle. He had a fractured hip a couple years ago. But dude, I don't know. I was watching his workout videos. Dude is fucking jacked.
And
he's not. Yeah.
Pete Carroll likes him too.
Yeah,
as well.
for sure. Like T said,
really likes
lunch pail dude just puts his head down, gets the job done. He's not scared to throw blocks out there, which is big for running backs to stay on the field. He is a 3-down back. If he plays even 14 games, I think he'll outplay his ADP. Because when he's on the field, he gets it done. He scores.
I mean, if his backup was named Rashard Corder, then I'd be very nervous. But
You're an idiot.
that boy is Penny, boy. Who even uses those brass Lincolns, baby?
And he went in the first round.
Copper Lincolns, yeah. Yeah, I think we're all sold. We all like Chris Carson. So let's move on to our next one here. This is Dre's Javonte Williams. Put some, you know, there's a lot of people that, like me, that they don't know how they feel about Javonte Williams. So enlighten me.
There's probably a lot of people that don't even know who Javonte Williams
That is very
to
true.
be honest.
Allow me to tell you how to feel.
Yeah. Tell me how to feel.
I love this one. I love this one.
All right, so first, he received since PFF has done grading on running backs, he received the highest grade ever. Averaged like 7 yards a carry. He was in a running back by committee with Michael Carter, who is also talented. This dude Javonte Williams he just breaks tackles. He's the full package. He's not one of these guys that's like small that runs tough or this or that. He's the perfect size. He can block. He has a speed. I mean, he broke the most tackles in college football per carry. I mean, he went to the perfect place. Melvin Gordon is one DUI or a fumble or an ankle injury away. Any of the three fucking things. If he fucking farts out alcohol, he's done. This dude, if Melvin Gordon gets off the field for anything, even if they think it's a concussion protocol, he's done. He's done.
Okay.
It's a wrap.
That's good.
So his talent, I was reading this article. Vic Fangio was like, I'm just so excited to see him play, and I'm just like, how can Melvin and he's just like blowing him, and I'm like, how can Melvin Gordon just feel good about this? He's got the juice. He's 21.
So you're saying that Javonte Williams is so good, it's driving Melvin Gordon to the bottle and making him
driving him,
DUIs.
And then it's driving him to drink, and then he's draking and driving. Then he's listening to slow songs.
Draking and driving.
So yeah, man, he's one of those where, especially that he got a mini camp. I think he could take the job from day one, but week 3 at most. Like, I mean, Melvin Gordon will get some love, but this kid, he's a savage, man.
He's a sneaky rookie.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, I like him for my rookie board. I had him number 2. He ended up passing Travis Etienne on my board for rookies because he could do everything.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Javonte Williams. I mean, even if this year, because he's probably going to be in a timeshare with Melvin Gordon. I mean, if you're in a dynasty league, sign me up all day.
I'm in a dynasty
every
league.
single day with this guy because next year Melvin Gordon will be gone. He will not be on that team. He'll be a free agent.
Poor Melvin
And I think
Gordon.
this is going to be Javonte Williams full steam ahead. I mean, my nickname for him is he's the human truck stick. Because if you just go to YouTube, type in some Javonte Williams highlights from North Carolina, and all you will see is this guy running through people nonstop. I mean, and the Broncos offense is going to be good. I mean, they have talent. Courtland Sutton's coming back. You got Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, KJ Hamler's been making some noise in the preseason. I know Teddy Bridgewater isn't the most electric quarterback, but he's a very efficient quarterback. He doesn't turn the ball over. High completion percentage. And then you got to think too, it's tough to play in Denver. They're always talking about the altitude and the home field advantage. I mean, that's a true home field advantage over there when you're playing in Denver. When you get some of these other teams coming in, they get gassed. So, when you get into the, tail end of the third quarter, fourth quarter of these games, these opposing defenses are getting gassed. I mean, Javonte Williams comes in and he's just running over people. I love it. Sign me up all day with some Javonte Williams.
I like it.
And he can outrun you, and that's the thing you don't need is fumbling the ball. And Melvin Gordon, he had like 4 fumbles again last year. Like, that's a big problem. If he fumbles, it's for sure a wrap.
Well, one thing I don't understand is and maybe I just haven't heard it, but I've heard so much chatter of Michael Carter for the Jets, the rookie out of there. And he's not on my do not draft list, but for me personally, Michael Carter's not on my do not draft list because I just feel like you still have Tevin Coleman for the New York Jets. You got Ty Johnson over there. They're going to utilize all those guys. But there's just so much chatter about Michael Carter. But Javonte Williams is way better, in my opinion, than Michael Carter. But I feel like we haven't heard anything about Javonte Williams.
Yeah, not really.
Good.
Yeah, draft Javonte Williams, thank us later.
If he's there, he's someone that you reach for. Like, just to give you an example, like if I have like a friend and pick and it's like, oh, I have the 3rd pick and then I pick again in the 4th and 6th picks, I'm taking Javonte Williams before because in between those 5 picks, I don't want someone to take him.
Yeah.
So
very good.
There you go.
Well, I'm sold. Put him on my little team.
Mike's team is nice.
It is. It's super good. My do draft list. Here we go. I got David Montgomery. This might be an obvious one, but it is weird that he's going in the 3rd round where he is right now. What do you guys know off the top of your head his finishing?
He finished as RB4, I believe, last year. He was top like 7, 8 running back at least for sure.
I know they signed Damian Williams, but I do think that this offense as a whole is going to be better. I think that Andy Dalton's going to start the first couple games just because they feel obligated to. But I wouldn't be surprised if Andy Dalton starts the first game and then leaves. Like halfway through,
he leaves.
Like something happens.
Out.
Yeah,
like Aaron Donald kills him.
Yeah, like I could see them just getting pummeled, and then they throw Justin Fields in the first half of that first game.
Wait, you didn't hear so I guess the Bears have like the Rams incentivize this contract where if Aaron Donald takes out Dalton in the first game, he gets $1 million bonus from the Rams.
Stop.
It's like it's incentive based. You didn't hear about that?
No.
Oh well, he finished as David Montgomery was PPR number 4, standard 6. So yeah, right on it. 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, in the 3rd round, there was a lot of drafts where I had the 8th spot, and he came all the way back in the 3rd round. There's like 3 big running backs that are going in that round that I'm targeting: David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, and then Chris Carson. But David Montgomery's first on my list. If I'm on that 3rd round, I'm taking David Montgomery every single time. I don't know if I would take him I would actually probably take him in the 2nd. If I had like the 2nd or 3rd pick in the draft and I'm scared that he's gonna go, there's only certain receivers that I would take over him, obviously like Calvin Ridley and things like that. But then if those receivers are gone, I'm gonna be targeting David Montgomery probably. So I think it's a safe play. I would rather have David Montgomery over Jonathan Taylor, but that's just me, boy.
I mean, he came on. I think the game really did slow down for him those last like 8 weeks of the season where he was just, he might have been like RB1 or 2 to finish, and that's what salvaged his season. Like he was like RB like 18 before those last 8 games, and then he went on that run.
Crazy run. He won a lot of people the championships.
He was
towards the end.
dogging. So I think that's what salvaged it, but at the same time, it's not really like, it's not like a flash in a pan. It's more like I think he just figured it out.
Yeah, and then they just figured out how to work with it.
Remember 2 years ago, we'd be like, oh, Montgomery, 25 carries, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Next game, 8 carries, 30 yards. It's like, why the fuck aren't you just giving him the ball more and more and more and more?
And they're learning that. And then the more carries he gets, the more productive he is. There's some running backs that it takes almost the whole game for them to get in that mode, to be able to get touchdowns and do things.
Yeah, like they get stronger as the game goes on.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I think Adrian Peterson in his tail end years, he was like that. Where it would take him like it would take him a couple quarter, but like third quarter, fourth quarter, he would fucking light it up, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about David Montgomery. I think you're silly to pass up on David Montgomery. There's some receivers that people are drafting over David Montgomery in that round, and I have no idea why, because after David Montgomery, Swift and Carson, it gets weird with running backs. So I love David Montgomery in the third round. Draft him. Do draft.
Yeah, one of the things for me, hashtag interesting stat right here. I'm not sure if another running back's done. I haven't checked the last couple of years. Maybe Javonte Williams did this, possibly, because the guy's such a savage.
The broken tackles.
But yeah, there's a stat that Pro Football Focus does, and it's only been done twice. Like I said, maybe Javonte Williams did it last year, but it's only been twice prior to that a running back in college has had 100 or more forced missed tackles. It's only happened twice. And it is David Montgomery. That list consists of David Montgomery and David Montgomery.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that just shows you how elusive and how hard this guy is to tackle. And I do believe that the problem with David Montgomery, his rookie year and even kind of the beginning of last year, was they just weren't giving him the ball. He's a guy where he has to get the ball 20 times a game, and he's going to be productive. I mean, because, they had Tariq Cohen there, and he was snaking, some of those. Even if it's, 3 catches for 30 yards out of the backfield for Tariq Cohen was getting, that's 6 points in a PPR league.
Yeah.
That's a good little chunk right there. And then over the course of a 17 game season, 5-6 points every single week. I mean, that adds up for your running back. So obviously Tariq Cohen, he's still not back yet. Let me just ask you this though: are you worried that Damian Williams might snake some carries? Because I felt like Damian Williams looked good in the preseason, and I know it's preseason. You're playing against backups and guys who are just trying to make the roster, but they bring him in as a backup. Are you concerned that David Montgomery's workload, he doesn't get that workload that he got in the last 8 games of last year, and it goes down because Damian Williams is a little bit more utilized, maybe snakes a couple goal line carries that wasn't there last year in the tail end of the year?
I mean, yeah, but I think the most impressive stat was that David Montgomery went from 25 catches to 56 catches. So, I mean, he doubled his reception. So I think he's showing them that he could do it all. But, I mean, I'm sure Damian Williams will get some love, but I think...
Damian Williams almost, obviously, they always give the awards to the quarterbacks, I feel like. But Damian Williams, you could argue he could have won Super Bowl MVP that year. I mean, he had a chunk of rushing yards and a rushing touchdown, a chunk of passing yards and receiving yards and a receiving touchdown as well. Damian Williams did. So
yeah,
that's the only thing I could say on David Montgomery. You know me, I love David Montgomery. I think we all love David Montgomery on the podcast.
No, you don't love him like I love him.
Maybe not, but I do love David Montgomery. I think I'm just a little worried.
No, I get it.
And I think maybe I just don't want the listeners or the people to think like, oh, Dave Montgomery finishes the RB4 next year. Like he's gonna finish as the RB. He's gonna be a top 5 running back again, because I don't know if that
I would say that
ceiling is there with the addition of Damian Williams, because I do think that Damian Williams is gonna eat into a little bit of production. But I do love David Montgomery as to be like top. Like I think his floor is 15. Like RB15, I think is his floor. Like I don't think he falls lower than that. But like in terms of ceiling, like top 5, I don't think he has top 5 upside like he did last year.
Yeah, I mean,
but another lunch pail guy, like we were saying about Chris Carson, a guy who's, I don't think you're gonna be mad. You're never gonna be like, oh, David Montgomery cost me this week.
Yeah, I just think the offense is gonna be better.
Yeah.
In general, I think with Justin Fields there, I don't know. I think that offense will be better in general. I think if they know what's good for them, they'll play David Montgomery over Damian Williams. And if Damian Williams was that good, I think he would have stayed in Kansas City and they wouldn't have drafted Clyde Edwards.
For sure. Facts.
He's definitely gooder.